Aloha, beautiful resilience people. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday tip time, so I thought I would jump in and do a little post about today's blog post that went up, which is all about cycles and rhythms. And this is something that I have been present to for a number of years. And of course, it's nothing that's, new. It's a concept inside of a lot of spiritual teachings and personal development, which is that if you can lean into and become aware of what your cycles and rhythms are, then as you experience the ebb and flow of your particular cycles and rhythms, then it can become easier to just ride the wave rather than fighting your way through it and feeling like you need to muscle your way through it, or like you need to do anything rather than just lean into it and be with it. So what I want to know from all of you is, do you have a sense of what your particular cycles and rhythms are, and how do you handle your cycles and rhythms? For a lot of us who are women, we have a built-in cycle and rhythm, right? Every month. And even as we get a little bit older and those cycles and rhythms change, there's still a sense of kind of knowing what's coming. And if you read today's article, you'll see that I talk about kind of leaning into a yearly cycle and rhythm, right? Because there's cycles and rhythms in a day, there's cycles and rhythms, monthly, weekly. And the whole big picture idea of it is, when you know your cycles and your rhythms, you can prepare yourself for them mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and go, okay, here it comes. And as you're riding that particular wave, you can go, oh yeah, okay, I remember that this was a little bit like this last time I was here. What did I learn from it last time? What can I do differently this time? And how can I be in a space of love and compassion with myself as I go through the parts of the cycles and rhythms that feel a little bit more crunchy and feel a little bit more like the metamorphosis, parts of the cycle and rhythm. You can kind of think of it as, the caterpillar inside of the cocoon is, doing its thing, and it's kind of morphing, and then it becomes a beautiful butterfly, and then the cycle begins for us all over again. And so sometimes when you're inside of the cocoon, it can feel a little bit crunchy and gnarly and uncomfortable. And every time you go into that cocoon, if you kind of know what's coming, you can prepare yourself. So that's really the big takeaway today. So what I want to know from all of you is, what are your particular cycles and rhythms? Do you know what your cycles and rhythms are? And if you don't, how can you begin to tap into those cycles and rhythms and use them to your advantage? In other words, by knowing what's coming, how can you set yourself up to lean into the things that might feel a little bit challenging inside of a particular cycle and rhythm? All right, friends, can't wait to see your posts. Can't wait to see your videos. As always, wishing you a beautiful rest of your day. Lots of aloha and a hui hou.